Welcome to the Enva He Meant Company Music Podcast with your hosts KP and Ashton Thomas. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the show.
What's happening, y'all?
What's up, everybody?
I'm Ashton.
And I'm KP.
And this is the Enva He Meant Company Music Podcast, the show made by music enthusiasts.
For music enthusiasts.
That's right, y'all know what it is. And we are delighted, we are elated, ecstatic to have a good friend of mine personally. I've been knowing for the better half of 3 decades. I mean, I don't mean to tell my age or her age, but but we've been good friends for a long time. You know, she's a multi-instrumentalist, singer. You know, she's played with the who's who of gospel artists, and she's been a part of some other projects as well. So we just gonna get into it. But I want y'all to give a warm and vehement welcome to Lacretia TT Bolden, aka Cover Girl. Show her some love.
Hey. Thank you so much for joining us and coming on. We are so excited. So excited. When you sent that DM back, I was like, yes.
Oh man, I'm so excited to be here. I'm so grateful that you guys even asked me to be on. I'm really excited to be here with you guys.
100%. All right. So we just start from the beginning. You know, how did you get acclimated into music? You know, who were some of your influences growing up? You know, and of course, like we said, you play on multiple instruments. So we want to know how you got started on all of them. So
Okay, I guess I'll get a short answer because that's really that's a loaded question.
no.
But I started in music. My mom is actually a gospel singer around the city of Cleveland. Her name is Lacretia Bolden as well, which is why I always put the TT in the middle of my name. I know most people like, you 40 years old. Why you got people calling you TT? But that's why, because when people see my mom's name and my name, they think that I'm my mom. So I have to decipher between the two. So that's how I got into music. My mom is actually a singer and actually a musician. My mother, I grew up in church. My mom and my mom played the organ. My aunt played the drums. So I grew up watching my aunt playing the drums and my mom played the organ. So my mother is probably the reason, not probably, she is the reason I'm a musician today. And my mom, I just told somebody recently, my mother is the reason why I play so aggressively because she didn't let me play soft. She'd always like, hit that pedal. So my mother is the reason I am an aggressive musician. But that is where my start began. After that, I went to high school and just became a shed musician. I started picking up other instruments when I learned of groups like the Clark Sisters. And when I first heard Twinkie Clark and heard of Twinkie Clark, found out who she was, I was like, hey, I'm playing the organ. I'm going to learn how to play the organ. And y'all don't even call me TT no more. Call me Lil Twink. So for at least 3 years of my life, I was Lil Twinkie, and you better not call me nothing different. I wasn't playing yet, but it was people like that. But really, my main influences were really not famous people. It was really people around the city of Cleveland. I mean, I tell people that Cleveland gets us ready for the world. So my influences were literally people that were around me. It was people like, I remember watching Joey Green as a teenager play the bass.
Shout
Out to Joey Green. Shout out to Walter Barnes. You know, when I was coming up, Walt played guitar. You know, he didn't play, he came on to bass a little bit later, but just watching people like that, Joey Green, like Eric Bias, getting to sit in the shed with Chris Coleman, or, there was a lady, named Delene James who really took me under her wing. When I wanted to learn how to play the organ, she would let me just follow her all the time and teach me chords. Other musicians just let me record them, like Jack Spencer and Eve Schaefer. It was those people who were around me that really poured into me and made me a better musician. And those are the people I glean from. Those are my inspirations, just seeing them all the time. So, yeah.
Dope. Now, I don't know the validity in this, but I was told that Chris Coleman, you brought him up. He was actually living in the city for a little while. I mean,
Correct.
oh, was he?
Yes,
Oh, wow.
he did. He lived in Cleveland for a couple of years, and he played for pastor. He came from Saginaw, Michigan. They came from Saginaw, but his name was Tony Hunt. And Chris played here for a couple of years, and yeah, we used to get to share with Chris, watch him play. But most people see him as a drummer, but he's an amazing bass player as well.
Yeah.
So a lot of people don't know that, but yeah, we got to share with Chris sometimes, you know. And then once the drum off, he just took off. But
Yeah.
definitely, that's really true. I got some videos somewhere of the share sessions where Chris and Eric Bias were literally, you know, playing together and melting out of their clothes in the summertime.
That's insane.
But
That's
yeah,
crazy.
really exciting stuff. I'm telling you.
Right, for sure. So take us, so you talking about your early childhood up to high school. So take us to college. So you went to Central State University.
Yeah, you know, it was actually a different experience because I came out of a world of where I got to shed all day, and I would go to class during the day and teach the choir in high school and then shed all night. But then college took me into a more structured atmosphere. So it took me out of the shedding place, and it actually taught me about the world of classical music. So I got to do a little bit of gospel, but I did a lot more exploring of classical music and other genres. So I actually learned a lot about jazz actually in college. So I was a part of the jazz ensemble, and I went playing the kick on every beat, and they was like, no, that's not how you play jazz. So they taught me how to play jazz in college. And I really gained another love for classical music. I actually graduated with, a lot of people don't know this, but I graduated with a bachelor's degree in vocal performance. So I actually sing. I'm a classically trained singer as well. So yeah, college was amazing. It was the first time I ever got to go overseas. So I got to experience a lot in my college years. I did.
Dope.
Yeah.
Wow. So, like, do you have a favorite instrument that you play, since you play so many? Or is singing your favorite, or do you hate to say it?
You know what? I really don't have a favorite. I really am a music nerd. I tell people that. So I just love to play. I think it's fun. No matter what instrument that is, like, I'm always exploring in a different kind of way. I still feel like as a musician, I mean, I feel like I still have a long way to go. So I get to just play and have fun. So I love doing it all. You can call me sing classically, sing R&B, sing gospel. Like, I love music as a whole. Like, it's literally in my heart. It's in my bones. So yeah, no, I couldn't pick one to be my favorite.
I love that. I love that.
All right. So take us to the start of your professional career. How did you actually get started into, you know, playing out more with other artists and people like that?
I don't even know where it started. I think it just became just I guess from playing you get other opportunities and called to do other things, and those opportunities open more opportunities. So I wouldn't even say I started somewhere, because I couldn't even tell you where the start point was. But I've had the opportunity to, you know, just sit in and play with other artists and just other people. I've done some stuff with, like, in college we did some stuff with Richard Smallwood. Got to play with Richard Smallwood. Kim Burrell came to Cleveland a couple times. I got to play behind her a couple times. So it's really just other opportunities, creating other opportunities that allow me to be able to kick those doors open. A lot of people don't know this, but I actually do tracks for Dorinda Clark sometimes for her show, her gospel show. So some of the stuff that she's singing to, that's me playing and singing in the background. So that's something nobody really knows, but yeah.
So you're talking about her show on TCT?
Go on TCT, and some of the tracks that she uses, that's me behind her.
That's awesome.
And I don't think I've ever told anybody that.
Oh, an vehement exclusive.
Yeah, like
Y'all
JP
just got
just
the
said.
exclusive on that. Yeah.
Like JP just said, you heard it first on here on In Vahina
Yeah,
Company. So
definitely.
awesome.
I
So yeah, I was
love
going to ask, because in your resume you said you've worked with the Clark sisters. How did that come about?
Just in separate, so not as a whole, but just separately. Like
Yeah.
I've done some shows I did a show with Twinkie and Jackie together. And then I have had a couple times I played for the Word Church, and Karen was there. I got to work with her. I got to work with Kiera at the Word Church. And yeah, Dorinda, I've gotten to just play and do tracks for her. My mom was on the show a couple of times, and she heard my mom's tracks. She was like, "Hey, do you do tracks? They said you play. Do you do tracks?" I said, "Yeah, I do tracks." So she's like, "Okay, I need you to make me." It went from 1 track to 2 tracks to 3 tracks, and now it's just an ongoing thing. So it's been pretty cool.
Dope. And then also one of my favorite groups, local groups, the Cavor Project. I think the first time I heard the band, it was actually for some Summer Breeze Jazz Fest, way far out east, probably near in Erie, Pennsylvania, because I was actually playing with Andre Cavor and them that same day. But are you an original member of that group, or how did you actually get into that?
So actually, no, I'm not an original member, but I've been around the Cavors for a while. Andre's wife, I played for her father's church for some years. That's opportunities, creating other opportunities, like I said. And I've actually played drums for them sometimes, and I was more so a singer for them for the most part for the band. So when Andre wants to take a break, I'll get up and sing some songs. He play with me. So yeah, I've been a part of that. I was a part of that band for maybe about 7 or 8 years. Yeah.
Dope.
Yeah.
That's cool. This one's a little more personal, a little deeper, and then
Okay.
it has to do with the Cleveland scene, because I mean,
Okay.
as you just said, Cleveland gets you prepared for the world, and every Northeast Ohio musician singer we have on the show, they all say the same, like we can stand toe to toe with anybody in the country, in the world. Do you feel there's anything that that could help the city like progress and get better and kind of like get us more exposure? I mean, I hate to use exposure because that kind of, leads to, you know the deal. But is there anything that you feel could help the scene progress?
I do. I think that just like you said, Cleveland gets us ready for the world. I think that a lot of times when our musicians go into the world, they go and claim other cities, and nobody knows that they are a part of Cleveland. So I think that when our musicians make it, if they really claim that I don't know if they don't want to know people to know that they're from Cleveland. I don't know if that's a thing, or if they feel like the bigger city gives them more, I don't know, clout. But I think if people start to really be honest about where they're from, because honestly, Cleveland is taking over the world, like really. And really, you'll see these other musicians and all these other singers. I'm grateful that like people like Duran is blowing up right now. And the one thing he says is, "I'm from Cleveland." Like, people
93rd and
knows that
St.
he's
Clair.
from Cleveland. Once we really take pride in our own city, I think that people will really see the amount of talent that we have here, because I'm telling you, I think people really don't know that we are second to none here. I mean, the kids are killing. So, that's one thing about me is no matter where I go, if I move to Los Angeles, I'm going to always say that I'm from Cleveland, because I'm a product of that. Like, I would be nothing without my city. I told a lot of musicians they got it a little easier than we did, because we used to get clowned a lot, and it made us better. But I'm nothing without those stories. I'm nothing without those experiences. I'm nothing without, there is a sound here in the city that nobody else has. There is a feel in our city that nobody else has. And when our musicians go other places, I believe that's a reason why they stand out so much. And people are wondering what that sound is, what that feel is. That's Cleveland all day. That's Cleveland. And I think that once we as musicians learn that, nobody really knows about Cleveland, but once we take pride in that, I feel like it's Cleveland against the world, boy.
Mhm.
For real.
Yeah, for sure. You hear the sound of Cleveland or Ohio, period, but specifically
Everywhere.
the sound of Cleveland everywhere, like in
And
West
nobody
Coast,
knows it.
hip
Yeah.
hop, funk, whatever. You get it all. And yeah, we was just actually talking about this in the rehearsal in Kidsman Daz today about, you know, just all the influences that they've had on other gospel artists and R&B groups coming up
Correct.
after them. It's absolutely amazing.
My question, you're a woman like that does everything. Do you think you've had to work twice as hard to kind of like prove yourself or for other people to take you seriously as a woman being a multi-instrumentalist?
You know what? I'll say always. But their first reaction never stays the same, and I love it. I tell people all the time, it's funny now that we have social media and those kind of things, I get it a little less. But before, especially when I was mostly just a drummer and I showed up to play drums, like the reaction I would get and the treatment I would get from guys, like, oh, she's a girl, like she about to be cheese. And then once I finish playing, they be like, oh my God, like, who are you? Where are you from? Oh my goodness. You know, so I will say, I get underestimated a lot because I'm a female. But I actually like it because, you know, I like the reaction I get once it's all said and done. Like, oh man, I mean, I hate that people are like that though, but yeah,
Right.
I
But
think
it's
I do
nice.
have to work a little harder. I think it's different for me. I mean, me personally, when it comes to building relationships as a female, because I have to because music is more of a male dominant thing, I guess. When it comes to instrumentalists, it's more male dominant. So I have to be careful how I approach things or talk to men or, you know, when I call or how I call or, you know, those areas. But outside of that, you know, I feel pretty much, you know, social media has made it a little bit easier. People kind of know me a little more sometimes. So they'll be like, oh, yeah, I know this girl. She can play. Or, you know,
Right.
I don't have to prove it as much anymore. So,
Right.
yeah.
And
Yep.
you do have like a really big like social media following. So do you think that helps you at all in any way? Like, do you think you feel pressure to like entertain online and just be talented? Or how do you feel like the growth of your social media has helped you or not?
The growth of my social media has been exciting. I am not really I don't know. I tell people I need to make more content. I I actually make less content now that I have more followers. I just try to but believe it or not, I'm always recording. But just finding the time to make content is kind of hard. But I don't know. I believe that it's helped me in the way of people actually knowing my capabilities. I've been enjoying meeting new people. I've gotten to meet a lot of new people in that way. So I've been enjoying the extra followers online. It's really been exciting. Um, yeah. So I mean, people say like, "Oh man, you know you're famous." I be like, "Man, I don't even feel like nobody. I still feel like nobody know me." But yeah, it's been exciting though, just to meet new people and just to glean. And I'm actually now starting to get a couple more collaborations with people and getting ready to do some new stuff. So it's exciting. It has challenged me in a way. Um, because it makes me want to put out more of my own stuff. So that's the lane that I'm kind of going toward now is being more creative and trying to create my own sound versus um being the cover girl and doing cover tunes. Yeah, just trying to create my own sound. So it has challenged me in ways and it's been exciting. So yeah.
Yes, I love that. Like, oh my gosh, I can't. And when you do start doing your own, you have to come back on the show so that we can talk about that.
Yes, hopefully it's
Mhm.
sooner than later. Like,
Mhm.
hopefully it's sooner than later. This is something that I've been talking about doing all year. So yeah, hopefully it's coming out real soon, really soon.
Love that. And I love that you said, like, even, I mean, with the social media following, there comes like opportunities and collaborations. Has there been any one specific collaboration that came from like your following where somebody reached out to you in the DMs like, hey, I see you, can we do something together? And you were like, oh my God, like, yes.
Listen, so I do have I have a collaboration that actually I'm working on now. We are getting ready to do a tour called the 311 tour. So it's me, a guy named Sid Marsh, and another guy named Josh. And we're all 3 drummer singers. And so we're getting ready to start to do a tour. So this is actually the first time I talked about that. So
Yes.
our first city is Richmond, Virginia, and it's going to be on Father's Day. So I am really excited about it. And we're going to have a show in Cleveland on August the 22nd, and that's still in the works, but it's going to be crazy. So that is one of the collaboration opportunities that I've had that's been exciting, and I really can't wait. Like I'm really excited for the opportunity to be on the stage and to share the stage with these 2 guys. Like, they're 2 awesome drummers and singers, and I just believe it's gonna be a crazy vibe. But outside of that, like the collaboration opportunities, I have met a lot of people, and I like this one. I'm gonna tell y'all this. In September, my band, I play with a band called Climax, and we had a show with Sheila E. And I was doing sound check. I was out doing sound check, like getting my drums together. And actually, honestly, I was walking in a hotel and I passed Sheila E in the hallway. And I turned and looked at her like, oh my God, like, you're Sheila E. And she turned back and looked at me like, hey, I know you, I follow you. So I was like, oh, we'll talk later. Like, whatever. And we're in sound check, and I turn around and she's standing behind the drums, and she comes out, talks to me, shows me so much love, and just, she stood there with me for about 20 minutes, just talking, and, that, and I mean, stuff like that. Meeting Sheila E., talking to Sput, which is one of the drummers that I've grown up listening to, and man, I still to this day just want to play like, I just pray the Lord just touch my hands one day and I can play like Sput. Oh my goodness. Like, talking to Sput, meeting people like Teddy Campbell. Yeah, just, I mean, really, like, so many different, I'm telling you, so many different just people, just meeting them and just them walking up to me like, hey, Terry Lynn Carrington wrote me and just said, hey, I'm a fan of yours. And I'm like, man, what? Like, so there has been not necessarily collaborations, but just people reaching out and talking to me and encouraging me and, pushing me and just telling me they enjoy my sound. Like, that's really exciting. It really is.
Love that.
That's
really
awesome.
exciting.
Yeah, that was actually my other question. Like, me getting to meet Sheila because I knew about that, but also the tour that you're about to do with Josh Stokes, because we just had him on the show.
Really?
That's one of the other guys.
I didn't know that when she said so many Joshes. Oh, that is so fire!
Yeah, I was about to ask about that. So
Josh Stokes.
Yeah, so we're gonna be in Cleveland. So y'all get it together. We coming to Cleveland.
I'm there. No question.
Yeah, it's gonna be crazy. It's gonna be fire. Yeah. It's gonna be fire.
So some of your endorsements, like Peisty Cymbals, Ludwig Drums, and Juicy Ears, which I was very excited to see you actually perform at the Juicy Ears booth at NAMM this past year. So for people who don't know, like, what are some of the ins and outs about being endorsed to different companies? Because a lot of people get a misconception that, you're just getting a whole bunch of free stuff and, just whatever else. And some people don't have necessarily a good opinion about being endorsed to different companies. Like, they say it's like being stifled and you can't really, don't really have a lot of elbow room to move around. But what are some of the ins and outs that you have to, face or that you go about with the endorsements or with endorsements, period?
I think it's all about just putting yourself out there, building those relationships. And I would say, like, people that want to be endorsed or just have endorsements, you really have to have, I guess, something to offer. People just want to be endorsed. And I mean, the main thing to remember is that a company wants somebody to see their product. And the question you ask yourself is, what are you doing to give that company a reason to give you an endorsement opportunity to see their product. I think that's the most important thing. I think that it is having endorsements can be sometimes a bit hyped because it's really work. Is really, pushing that brand or whatever the case may be. And it's not a bunch of free stuff. I can tell y'all that right now. There are still, like, some people may have free deals or whatever, but there are some most endorsement deals now you have to pay something. You have to pay your money. You may get a discount off of it or whatever, but you still have to pay your money. It does lock you into a company, and I've heard some of the things that people say. For me, it works because I'm a traveling musician, so when I go to like different cities, it's important for me to have some good in-ears to hear when I'm on stage, because man, I hate being at the mercy of the sound man. In-ears are so important to me in everything that I do. So in-ears, or just having like the drum companies to back me when I go to another city and I can't take my drums, but I can call my company and say, hey, I'm here in this city, I need some drums. So for me, that's what makes it important for me. If I was not traveling or doing anything like that, and which I love my companies. Shout out to Juicy Ears, shout out to Peisty, and shout out to Ludwig. Man, all of my companies are really like, they treat me like family. I was out doing something the other day, and my rep from Juicy Ears just reached out to me. Hey, what's up? How you doing? What's going on? You cool? Life going okay? Okay, all right, bye. So just they look out for me and just make sure I have what I need when I'm playing or when I'm gone. And I'm still working on a stick company, and I need that tremendously bad. Because I'm telling you, Jesus. Like, I just got off of the old school, what is it called? The old school cruise.
I was just about to ask about that. Yes, tell us about that.
I just got off of there, and that's why I was late DMing you back. Because I was on the boat and I was content. I was like, man, I'm not paying for this internet. So I was texting people, and when I got off, I was like, oh, I'm gonna just try to do what I can while I'm off. But
that is so funny.
Yeah, it was really, I love going on old school cruise. You get to see, outside of being able to play on the old school cruise, it's really amazing to see. And this year, I did not see a bad sounding band. Like, the bands that came on that boat this year, they did not come to play. Okay, they were killing. So it's fun to be on there. You get to meet people and just love on people. With so much love on there, just on the old school cruise when we get to go. This time we were actually gone a little bit longer because we did 2 different runs. We went to Ensenada for 3 days, and then we did a 5-day to Cabo.
Oh,
so
nice.
we were on the boat for 8 days, and I thought I was going to hate it, but when I got back, I was like, man, I got to go back home. Y'all take me back one more time. Take me one more round, please. But for me, I'm telling y'all, I love music. So to be on the boat, when you wake up, is music going on, and when you go to sleep, is music going on, and just you're meeting people and talking to people and just connecting and, just hearing. It was some killers on there. I'm telling you, they were killing. Like, Keith Sweat's band was killing. It was like Lake, what's the name? Lakeside, they were killing. Really, Morris Day and Time, killing. They even had a house band, which I didn't know they had a house band, but the house band was smashing for everybody. For everybody, like, jeez. Really. So it was really exciting being on old school cruise. I can't wait to go back.
So awesome.
Let's do it.
Yeah. So for me, I know we've been normally doing Mount Rushmore, but we'll change it up a little bit. So for me, we did this with FC when he was on. So this is kind of like the Last Supper kind of deal. So I'll say, right, if you put on a dinner party and you only had to invite 7 people, so your 7 favorite singers, musicians, producers, whoever, who would those people be? So this is their one chance to get all those 7 people in one room. The only chance you got just to thank them and appreciate them for inspiring you to do what you do?
Definitely the Clark sisters would take up 4 of those.
Or okay.
Man,
you can do a joint.
I need like 10.
Yeah. Okay.
But I'm gonna count the Clark sisters as one. Okay.
Yeah.
Kim Burrell for sure. I adore Kim Burrell, and I think she's amazing. Production wise, I would have to say, I don't know, I'm old school. I'm about to say Timberland. I love Timberland.
Mm-hmm.
Timberland. Who else? Writing wise, I love the stylings of Jonathan McReynolds. I think that his writing style is just second to none for me. What's that, 4? I have to say Jasmine Sullivan. She's one of my favorite. Who else could I say? Who would I say for drums? I don't know. I met Calvin Rogers a couple times. I'm gonna have to say Calvin Rogers though. Like he definitely plays any style of music to me. He's amazing. And let's get a bass player in there. For bass, I'm gonna have to say Victor Wooten.
Period.
He's a freaking genius.
Sure.
He's a freaking genius.
Definitely, yes.
Yeah, so that's 7. That's 7.
Mm-hmm.
I could go on and on though, really. Because
yeah.
Oh, because I forgot Kenyon Dixon. Oh my goodness, somebody got to go.
No, wait,
Kenyon, gosh,
that's my favorite. That's my
love Kenyon Dixon. I listen, man.
We could be best friends then. I love me some Kenyon since
I
don't even
love me
know
some Kenyon Dixon
about his old stuff. Not even the new. I'm like, man, Kenny. Yeah, we've been locked in for a long time.
He's so underrated. Like, listen, I used to listen. I go back to SoundCloud for Kenyon Dixon. Okay.
Period. That's what I'm saying. They don't even know.
They don't even know. Okay.
They don't.
Yes, I love Kenyon. Yes.
Shout out to Kenny.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Kenny got soul.
Kenny got soul.
Right. So then the other one is the soundtrack to your life. So from the time you started doing music to up till now, what are some songs that have really resonated with you since then up till now? Or if somebody made a biopic of your life, what songs would you want on that soundtrack?
Definitely it's a song by Twinkie Clark, and I've rebooted that song. It's called Awesome. That's one of my songs. There is, I'm not even gonna lie, there's a lady named Brittany Wright. She's also from Cleveland, but she lives in Baltimore. She has an album called, and it is the entire album for me. It's called Fight For You. It's the entire album for me. Like, I did not listen to gospel music for a period in my life, and that was the only gospel album. That album got me through some tough times in my life. Fight For You. Awesome album. What other stuff? I gotta throw a Kenyon song in there.
Period.
Which one do I pick?
You say don't make me scream up in here.
Okay. It's gonna have to be Hard Way.
Huh? Period.
Some people had to learn the hard way, okay?
Didn't they?
You know, I had to learn the hard way. And I don't know. I don't know. It's hard to think of.
I was gonna say, because I've heard you sing this song multiple times, even back at NAMM, Caught Up in the Rapture, Anita Baker.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. And you know what? Another one of my favorite artists. I'm gonna give you another. Jameson Ross. He has a song called Trying.
Yes.
Listen to that song. That song is dope.
Jameson.
It's called Trying.
Yes, Jameson. Jameson is a musician too, right? Is he a drummer?
He's a drummer singer.
Yeah,
yes, he is.
Drummer, singer, Grammy
He's
Award
one of my biggest inspirations as a drummer singer. Like, he's amazing.
They have a podcast that they just started. He just started with his manager David, and they followed me, and I was like, I was like, fangirling. I was like, Jameson Ross and David. I was
really,
like,
oh
my God.
To me, he's so underrated, man. He really is. And everybody needs to go back and listen to his last album. It's incredible. It really is.
I love that you mentioned him.
I happened to go to NAMM one year, and I did not know that he was going to be out there. but my feet was hurting from walking all day. And when I found out Jamison Ross was outside, I wouldn't have stood outside. I didn't care if it was raining, sleeting, or snowing. I was gonna stand there and listen to Jamison Ross. I love Jamison Ross.
Oh, I love that. Okay, and then my quick little game. It's a quick answer only. Finish the sentence game.
Okay.
So you ready? Okay.
Yes, I am.
The music industry needs more
Sane people. I don't know. Because they crazy.
The same people. I'm crying. Okay. All right, next. Musicians need to stop.
Being so judgmental.
That's a good one. Okay.
Being so judgmental.
A perfect song sounds like.
A perfect song sounds like, I don't know, love. I don't know.
That's good. That is great. Let me see. Okay, 2 more.
Okay.
Cleveland deserves more credit for
being the sound. I already said that.
Period.
We're number 1.
People think musicians are, but really we're.
People think musicians are rock stars, but really we are, I don't know. Really, we are nerds.
That was good.
We are nerds.
That was fun. I like that. That was fun. And then I always like to ask, what piece of advice or encouragement would you give, let's say, to young women who are coming up and want to do what you're doing, but are intimidated or just don't even know where to begin? What advice would you give them?
The advice I would give them is, whatever you want to do is accomplishable. Don't be afraid to do that thing every day. If you do a little bit of it every day, you'll get better every day, no matter what that thing is. At first, it's going to feel like you can't accomplish it, but if you keep just going a little bit more every day, you will accomplish it. And I will also say, don't compare yourself to other people. Be who you are. Be confident in who you are, because that's who God made you to be. And everything God made is perfect. Everything He gave you is perfect. So it's just up to you to walk it out. And just be content in who you are, and don't want what that next person has, because it may be something in you that's greater. You just got to get there. So yeah.
All right, y'all. So this has been another episode of the Vehement Company Music Podcast, the show made by music enthusiasts
for music enthusiasts.
That's right. Peace, y'all.